Okay guys, I'm here for the next step. Between videos, I rinsed out my same mixing bowl so I could reuse it for my cauliflower mash. And I want to say this, I'm healthy, but I'm not a purist, so I don't take all that extra effort to start with a fresh head of cauliflower. It's so much easier for me just to save time and energy and be able to focus my attention elsewhere to get a pretty healthy version of a riced cauliflower that's already in the freezer section. And so it's frozen, so it's still pretty healthy. And so I started with that. So I have steamed these. So I'm doing 2 bags. I want to have a lot of mashed cauliflower on top to give it the feel of mashed potatoes. So you just pour your cooked rice cauliflower into the mixing bowl. I've got 2 bags. One was a regular flavor, original, and the other one is a garlic flavor, which ought to give this a really good taste. So we have to spice these up and make them taste like mashed potatoes, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So now that we've got our mashed cauliflower into the bowl, we are going to add some of my Himalayan pink salt. So I'll put some of that in there. Anything, you know, you would make mashed potatoes with salt, pepper, and butter. So we're going to do that very same thing. So here's my pepper. We're going to use it. And I'm going to add in some garlic and herb for the heck of it. It'll give it a pretty color because of the green. I'll show you. So it's green. And then we got to get our butter in there. So I use real butter, and this is Kerrygold Irish butter. Got to get a knife. I don't need that whole stick. I'm thinking I'll use half the stick. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to cut it in half. And I'm going to cut it up a little as I put it in here. This is a cold stick of butter, fresh out of the fridge. But since the cauliflower is hot, it will melt the butter as we mix it. Now, at this point, our cauliflower is still riced. It's not mashed yet. And we want to make this into a mashed potato mixture, like a mashed potato. That'd be mashed cauliflower. So the best way I know to do that is to get a good old handy-dandy potato masher, unless you want to use your blender or beaters or an immersion blender, whatever. But I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and use my potato masher by hand. I mean, I have those other tools. I've got beaters. I've got the nice blender, and I even have a handheld immersion blender. But not everybody's going to have those tools, so I want to show you guys that this can be done the old-fashioned way, just as quickly and easily. So now we've turned that cauliflower into like a mashed potatoes. And I'll show it to you. And there it is. So it's going to have some consistency. And the next step is it goes on the next layer of the shepherd's pie. So it's going to be poured right on top of that green beans, tomatoes, and ground beef mixture. So we're going to scoop it out of this dish. And we're going to spread this around on top. We want to pretty well cover it where you don't have any holes. So we're just spreading it out as good as we can and try to cover up any of the tomato sauce. So hopefully you're mostly just going to see white in the end, or the mashed cauliflower. All right, so when you get it to this point, that's how it looks. Oops, sliding on me. And you're gonna do one last step, and I got some cheese. Ideally, what would be best probably would be mozzarella cheese. I didn't have mozzarella shredded cheese on hand, so this is just a concoction of cheddar, white cheddar and yellow cheddar. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on top, because I did learn back in the day that as an adult that I like to put cheese on my shepherd's pie. So if you have a dairy intolerance or something like that, you can omit it. But if you like cheese, go ahead and add it. It's not going to hurt. It still stays low carb. So now this shepherd's pie will go into the oven at 350, 30 to 45 minutes. Everything's already cooked, except the, tomato sauce, but it's actually cooked too to be a sauce. So it's just a matter really of warming it through until it gets bubbly around the edges. So we'll catch you in the next video with the finished product. Thanks for your time, guys.